We're now working on the setup of this bass. You'll see that Dan has got it roughly set up. We've not totally finished anything. We normally leave the instrument for a couple of days to sort of settle into itself and see where it is before finishing it off completely. But the main thing to note here is the setup of the bass is crucial. So we've done all the work to the instrument to get it this far. And obviously the final bit is hearing how it sounds, but also making it feel right for the customer and the player is key. And there tends to be two different types of requirements. So either someone will come to us and say, I just want my bass to feel good, and they're not quite sure what they want, in which case we're able to obviously do a nice setup for them. But then also we get people who have a really specific requirements, like string widths, different places, also width of the fingerboard. Then you get how much dip they want, what height top nut, you're taking into account what strings they want, and then what they want to feel. You get people that are really specific, and in which case we're also very capable of dealing with that too. But this is just having a general setup, so our usual we call it our standard low action. So this is settled for a couple of days. And then Dan is just going to just drop the strings a little bit more. Because we put bridge adjusters in, we tend to do a sort of standard dip, in the fingerboard. And obviously there's a dip in the fingerboard. Reason being is if there wasn't, as you put the notes down, basically because there is a dip, there's always a bit of a hollow in front of it, which means that it doesn't buzz. So we're going to have a look at that as well. So we check that. And then drop the strings down a bit more, but we're going to put bridge adjusters in. So what it means is if the strings are too low for you, you can put them up. But obviously if the strings are too high, if the adjusters are all the way in, then you can't go down. So we tend to always do a really sort of low, silky smooth action, and then people obviously can raise them up. Obviously the type of strings you have on the instrument as well affect how high the strings feel. So you've got a few things that make the strings feel high, and one of them is string tension. So that's obviously the tension of the instrument, but also the strings. Then you've got the dip in the fingerboard, and of course the string heights and the top nut. So adjusting all those things is key here. So we'll just give this a little tinkle and see how we're getting on. We've obviously done the soundpost, but we will maybe make some adjustments with that, but we'll see what happens here. So the main thing we're looking for here is the evenness across the strings. That's the most important thing. And that they all do a similar thing. I'm just going to get my tuning app out. So that they all sort of do a similar thing. So it's got plenty of beef, this bass, very loud. Excuse my playing, by the way. It's very dark sounding. These bel canto strings are very dark sounding in themselves. So I'd say the focus at the moment is just a little bit too much to the treble side. So it's just a tiny bit. It's very, very powerful on the top string. It almost just feels a little bit tight. And then these, I think, could do with a touch more tension. So Dan will do some more soundpost adjustment. And what we'll do is just keep fiddling around with that until we're happy. So yeah, Dan will carry on. We'll fiddle around with the soundpost, get that good, and then Dan will obviously finish the bridge off. So yeah, we'll see how we get on.
you.